Hi, this is Sweet June 2010. How's everybody doing today? I was going to come on here and do these videos yesterday, but I got my tooth pulled and didn't sleep well the night before, and I was tired and in a lot of pain yesterday, so just trying to recoup. Took my pain meds, so right now I'm okay. I want to thank my subscribers. I see I got 92 scribes now. I want to thank you guys for subscribing to my page. I know there's thousands of pages and probably millions of channels on YouTube that you have a wide selection that you could choose from, but you choose to subscribe on my page. And I just want to let you guys know I really appreciate you subscribing. Thank you for enjoying my videos. I try to make come on here and I try to do positive videos. I try to enlighten people, get a little witness in, and enlighten people and educate people um, and throw a little entertainment and laughter in there too. So I really thank you guys. I really appreciate you subscribing to me. I'm not gonna take it for granted for 1 minute because you don't have to. Uh, be sure to share my videos so I can get more scribes. Okay. I want to talk about the recent events of police brutality that has taken place with Philando, Castile, and Alton Sterling. I'm just, I'm at a loss for words. I mean, when I heard about the one young man that was got murdered in front of the convenience store, um, I was outraged, just like everybody else, and I just couldn't believe it. I could and I couldn't. I said they didn't kill another black man, and this just makes me heart sick. It really really makes me heart sick. And then this the other morning I was getting up, getting ready to go to work, and I thought that, I watch the news every morning, before I go to work. CBS Evening News is my favorite one to watch. So here I'm thinking that they're going to talk about Anton, and I said, they don't need to keep showing that video, and I thought that's who they were going to talk about, and then next thing you know, they show Philando Castile's video, and I'm like, what? This happened again? And it showed his girlfriend was on there, she was a black young lady, and she was filming it on Facebook, and he said he had a gun, and he was attempting to tell the officer that he had a gun on him. He was licensed to carry, and he was getting ready to get everything out, and the cop just shot him, just started shooting him. And she, was smart enough to tape it on Facebook, and the young black lady is being commended. She's actually being commended for remaining calm in the situation, because she had to remain calm because he could have shot her too. And this was all done in front of their 4-year-old baby. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I said, "Are you serious? Seriously? You're gonna do this in front of a 4-year-old baby, a 4-year-old child?" And I'm just like everybody else. I'm just beside myself, and I'm just really, really sick. I'm sick and tired of this happening in the United States, and I'm outraged. This needs to stop. All these police killings, and then after that, I heard about the police shootings in Texas. And I was like, oh no. I said, they can't do that, because what's going to wind up happening is that's going to cause police officers to be trigger happy all over the United States now. And we can wind up losing, it could be more bloodshed. We can wind up losing more black men. So this guy that did this, he's not helping the situation. Two wrongs don't make a right. The Bible says, God says, let vengeance be mine. See, we got to leave retaliation up to Jehovah God. It's not to us to seek out revenge. See, it's a reason why he puts that in the scriptures. Because if you seek out revenge, then you're going to go down too. He said, don't worry about them. You pray and you keep it moving and you let me handle the situation. It's the reason why he puts that in the Bible. He said, let vengeance be mine. You let me deal with them. See, it's not up to us to take matters into our own hand. And two wrongs don't make a right. Now we have other people, family members, that's hurt and devastated of a loss of a loved one. See, and I don't understand why. This didn't even happen in the same states or whatever, the cities that the other two shootings happened at. And this needs to stop. This is crazy. This was supposed to be the year 2016. We're supposed to be past all this. When is the violence going to stop? And I know, as I said in some of my other videos, we are in the last days of this system. The Bible says we got hard times, hard to deal with. And, it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. But I'm just outraged. I'm just really sick and tired of hearing about black people get killed. And by the hands of the police. And some of these white people are going around and they're being in denial. Or they always, when these events always take place, then they're making excuses. Well, they should have complied and all this kind of stuff. The man, she had his girlfriend put it on Facebook. He attempted to comply. And my thought is this: if you are a white person and you turn a blind eye to this situation, or you make excuses for the cops, you try to say it was justified, then you are part of the problem. They're part of the problem, and that is the problem. See, this stuff is going to continue to go on until black people and white people come together in love. Because we can see love overrules evil and hatred. Love overrules that. But we need an overwhelming number of black people and white people coming together. There's white people out there on the front lines. They get it. But the ones that are out there, I read in the blogs and stuff on Facebook, and they're talking about, well, they should have complied, or they shouldn't be committing crimes and all this and that. So you're part of the problem, and there's quite a few of them that's making those comments each and every time something like this happens. Even when the shooting of that baby, Tamir Rice, white people was on there. They was doing the same thing, and that's it. I was just outraged. Well, he shouldn't have been in the park playing with a gun. Seriously, a toy gun. Seriously, he's a little boy. Little boys. I know. When I was raising my sons, I never believed in buying them toy guns. I never wanted to buy both of my sons. I never wanted to buy them toy guns, and I made it a rule to not buy them toy guns because I didn't want them to think that it was okay to shoot somebody, or I just thought I equate guns with violence, and I didn't want to inculcate that into my children by buying them toy guns. But now, go figure, my oldest son is fascinated with guns now, but I never bought him guns as a child. And I think it's just, and they, even when they were little, they kind of wanted to pretend like they were shooting, even though they didn't have a gun. And so I think that's just the nature of a little boy. I think that's just in their nature. They're automatically fascinated with guns. They like to play cops and robbers and shoot them up, pretend play. And he was just being a normal little boy. And they didn't even, without even a blink of an eye, they come out the car and just start shooting. And there was, believe it or not, there were white people trying to justify this shooting of a 12-year-old baby. He was just being a normal child. And it's to the point to where our children can't even be normal children anymore. It's like my son, he had a pellet gun. My youngest son had a pellet gun. And I said, and he was out on the porch, called himself trying to shoot it. And I said, Edmund, I said, bring the gun in this house, please. You don't have no business with it. Bring it in the house. Please do not be on the porch with that gun. I don't want the cops to ride by and think that you're aiming it at them or whatever and they take a shot at you. See, as a black mother, we have to think about things like this. And it's really sad. It's really sad that we're living in a country like this. And my heart just bleeds for their families, you know, for Philando and Alton. My heart just bleeds for their families, you know. I just really getting so tired of these senseless killings. And it really needs to stop. You know, I think that they should let the black police officers police the black communities. They said in one of those communities, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the one where Alton Sterling got killed. They said on the news that those areas are predominantly patrolled by white police officers. Now, see, that's a problem. That's a problem right there. It dawned on me, you know, it occurred to me that maybe they need to start having the black police officers police the black neighborhoods. They understand what's going on more in the black neighborhoods. They can relate more to the people that's in those communities. If they just need, I mean, I know it's segregation and all that kind of stuff, but this is getting out of control. They need to come up with some solutions. You know, they need to have more black cops policing the black communities. This is just ridiculous. And I have two sons. I have two black sons, and I have to keep praying for them. And I would, God forbid, hate for something to happen, excuse me, like that to either one of my sons. And you know, this needs to stop. And then black people cannot turn around and start shooting at the police. How is that going to solve anything? Two wrongs don't make a right. It's just going to escalate the situation and it's going to make it worse. See, we got to let justice take place. And I know a lot of times they let these cops off the hook. But then the families need to sue the police departments. That's what they need to do. They need to take it through the legal system. I always tell my sons, you can't fight white people with this. You got to fight them with this. That's how I tell my sons. I tell both of my sons like this. I said, you can't fight them with this. You got to fight them with that. See, you fight them with this, not this. Because you fight them with this, you're going to go down. See, you're going to go down. See, but if you fight them with this, flip the script on them, see, that puts something on their mind. So that's what you have to do. But it's just an outrage, you know, and my heart just goes out to the families. My condolences just goes out to the families. And that baby don't have a father now because of the stupid cop that made the wrong decision. If you have that much of an itchy trigger finger, I'm sorry, but you don't need to be a police officer. I don't know what's going on with these police departments and why they're not properly training their police officers, but they need to have better training. And if you're biased, they're not supposed to be biased. For one thing, you're not supposed to be biased. And the problem is that black men are on a alarming level, are getting stereotyped. See, and white people will say, well, white lives matter too. They don't get it. Black men and black women are being stereotyped. They're being stereotyped. They're being profiled. They stop a black man, they automatically assume that he's a criminal. They automatically assume that he's up to no good. That's the difference. I understand that yes, there are white people that die at the hands of the police. But the difference is that the black people get profiled. My 16-year-old son, in his 16 years of life, has already been profiled 3 or 4 times. I asked him, I said, had the police ever stopped you? I just asked him one day, I said, had the police ever stopped you? He said, yeah. I said, why? Why? What did they do? Oh, they just asked me some questions, asked me where I was going. I said, they don't have no right to do that. He's just walking down the street. He's just merely walking down the street, and the cops are stopping him and asking him questions. I asked him again. He said, yeah, they stopped me again. I said, you know what? If they keep doing this, I'm going down to that police station, and I'm going to talk to that police chief. This is ridiculous. They don't need to be stopping you and harassing you just simply because you're walking down the street. This is ridiculous, and this is what cops do. They stereotype. They have all these stereotypes about black men, and they profile black men. And they automatically assume that every black man out here is automatically up to no good. And they need to teach these officers what they call sensitivity training, and they need to teach them to not be biased. See, it's just like a doctor or a lawyer or anybody else in any other profession. You cannot be biased. You can't be biased and automatically assume things about a certain particular race to the point to where, and be biased to the point to where it's going to affect your job and it's going to affect your judgment. Because if they're biased and they're stereotypical and racist, then they have no business being a police officer. They shouldn't even be on the force. More screening needs to be done. More training needs to be done. They need to do more sensitivity training. And like I said, I think they need to have the black police officers police the black communities. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it needs to go down. But black people, we can't retaliate by shooting the cops. That's not the answer. Or shooting white people. That's not the answer. 2 wrongs don't make a right. Okay, I got some other videos coming up. Next couple of videos coming up, I'm going to address them to specifically black people. Black people, we got to come together. Okay, this is Sweet June 2010.